I mean, I'm very sensitive to atmosphere, but I tend to get desensitized, if you know what I mean, when people make unreasonable demands on me. For instance, last Christmas, I decided to do a bit of snow clearing for the borough council because we had a heavy snow over here that year in Europe. I didn't have to do the snow clearing. I mean, I wasn't financially embarrassed in any way. It just appealed to me. It appealed to something inside me. What I anticipated with a good deal of pleasure was the brisk, cold bite in the air in the early morning. And I was right. I had to get my snow boots on and I had to stand in a corner at about 5:30 in the morning to wait for the lorry to pick me up to take me to the allotted area. Bloody freezing. Well, the lorry came, I jumped on the tailboard, headlights on, dipped, and off we went. Got there, shovels up, fags on, and off we went. Deep into the December snow. Hours before cockcrow. Well, that morning, while I was having my mid-morning cup of tea in the neighbouring cafe, the shovel standing by my chair, an old lady approached me and asked me if I'd give her a hand with her iron mangle. Her brother-in-law, she said, had left it for her, but he'd left it in the wrong room. He'd left it in the front room. Well, naturally, she wanted it in the back room. It was a present he'd given me, see, a mangle to iron out the washing, but he'd left it in the wrong room. He'd left it in the front room. Well, that was a silly place to leave it. It couldn't stay there. So I took time off to give her a hand. She only lived up the road. Well, the only trouble was that when I got up there, I couldn't move this mangle. It must have weighed about half a ton. How this brother-in-law got it up there in the first place, I can't even begin to envisage. So there I was, doing a bit of shoulders on with a mangle, risking a rupture. And this old lady just standing there, waving me on. Not even lifting a little finger to give me a helping hand. So after a few minutes, I said to her, now look here, why don't you stuff this iron mangle up your arse? Anyway, I said, they're out of date. You want to get a spin dryer? I had a good mind to give her a workover there and then. But as I was feeling jubilant with the snow clearing, I just gave her a short arm jab to the belly and jumped on a bus outside. Excuse me, shall I take this ashtray out of your way?
It's not in my way.
It seems to be in the way of your glass. The glass was about to fall. Or the ashtray. I'm rather worried about the carpet. It's not me, it's my father. He's obsessed with order and clarity. He doesn't like mess. Besides, I don't believe you're smoking at the moment. I'm sure you won't object if I move the ashtray. And now perhaps I'll relieve you of your glass.
I haven't quite finished.
You've consumed quite enough, in my opinion.
No, I haven't.
Quite sufficient, in my own opinion.
Not in mine, Leonard.
Don't call me that, please.
Why not?
That's the name my mother gave me. Just give me the glass.
No.
I'll take it, then.
If you take the glass, I'll take you.
How about me taking the glass without you taking me?
Why don't I just take you?
You're joking. You're in love, anyway, with another man. You've had a secret liaison with another man. His family didn't even know. Then you come here without a word of warning and start to make trouble.
Have a sip. Go on. Have a sip from my glass. Sit on my lap. Take a long, cool sip. Put your head back and open your mouth.
Take that glass away from me.
Lie on the floor. Go on. I'll pour it down your throat.
What are you doing? Making me some kind of proposal?
Oh. I was thirsty.
What was that supposed to be? Some kind of proposal?
What's going on here? You drunk? What are you shouting about? You gone mad? Prancing about in the middle of the night, shouting your head off. What are you, a raving lunatic?
I was thinking aloud.
Is Joey down here? You've been shouting at Joey.
Didn't you hear what I said, Dad? I said I was thinking aloud.
You're thinking so loud you got me out of bed.
Look, why don't you just pop off?
Pop off? He wakes me up in the middle of the night. I think we've got burglars here. I think he got a knife stuck in him. I come down here, he tells me to pop off. What are you doing? Hiding someone here?
I was sleepwalking. Get out of here. Leave me alone, will you?
I want an explanation. You understand? I asked you who you got hiding here.
I'll tell you what, Dad. Since you're in the mood for a bit of a chat, I'll ask you a question. It's a question I've been meaning to ask you for some time. That night, you know, the night you got me, that night with Mum, what was it like? Eh? When I was just a glint in your eye. What was it like? What was the background to it? I mean, I want to know the real facts about my background. I mean, for instance, is it a fact that you had me in mind all the time? Or is it a fact that I was the last thing you had in mind? I'm only asking this in a spirit of inquiry. You understand that, don't you? I'm curious. There's lots of people of my age share that curiosity. Do you know that, Dad? They often ruminate, sometimes singly, sometimes in groups, about the true facts of that particular night. The night they were made in the image of those two people. At it. It's a question long overdue from my point of view, but as we happen to be passing the time of day here tonight, I thought I'd pop it to you.
You'll drown in your own blood.
If you prefer to answer the question in writing, I've got no objection. I should have asked my dear mother. Why didn't I ask my dear mother? Now it's too late. She's passed over to the other side. Now look what you've done. I'll have to hoover that in the morning, you know.